2019, the number reached 70,000. That was the peak. And the most encouraging, and right now, there are more than 200,000 secondary schools in the United States who are studying Chinese as a Category 4 language, which means, one of the most difficult language to learn in the United States. That number is very good already.
Chinese originates from a distinct language system, contributing to its inherent complexity in learning. Many multilingual individuals consider Chinese to be one of the most challenging languages to acquire.
The pronunciations, like the those are the hard ones.
对我来说，写字是最困难的。
Learning the differences between dialects and accents.
There's a problem, when you're learning two languages. You do the wrong one, and you don't understand, and you're confused.
I think that for studying Chinese, it's 开口, and don't be intimidated by accents. 四川人、广东人，当然是不是一码事情，那是应该练习这个你的耳朵的这个能力吧。Okay, anyway, this is the Beijing dialect. It's so old that I can. Okay, yeah. Beijing 大学. Hold on, let me just try to put it in.
Vera Schwartz, a distinguished historian and sinologist, holds a professorship in the United States. Following the establishment of diplomatic relations between China and the U.S. in 1979, she became one of the earliest American students to study in China, all while holding a doctorate degree. Over the course of a decade, she immersed herself in learning the Chinese language. Despite her accomplished status, she views herself primarily as a devoted student of China. In the subsequent 4 decades, she embarked on numerous journeys to China, fostering a profound connection and affinity with China.
You always cooking the Chinese food?
I like Chinese food, but it's a lot of work. 这个是非常实践的所以 but I like to cook. I mean, I like to cook. I like to eat Chinese food. So.
A language prodigy, Vera Schwartz possesses fluency in English, Chinese, French, German, Russian, Japanese, Hebrew, Romanian, Hungarian, and many other languages. Yet, she distinctly holds Chinese in high regard and considers it her favored language. With a strong affinity for China, she even regards the country as her second home. Chinese culture resonates deeply with Schwartz, and she feels a profound connection to it.
Look at language learning as opening windows of the mind. Each language, I've been fortunate to have many languages. I think I get mixed up sometimes among them. But each word even opens something. And I love to find things when they don't translate. So for example, 莫名其妙. You can't translate that. 那这个什么一个玩意儿? You can't translate these, 所以这个所谓成语, they are the delicious part of language. 没有法去翻译它们. So kind of jumping like in a swimming pool. So you don't know how to swim, so you'll sink a little bit. But you come up for air. So I think that's the fun of, in every language, I look for that boundary where you can't quite translate. And I love that. I like to dance on that edge of words.
Or having more people learn Chinese is also essential. Absolutely essential to U.S.-China relations and to the interconnectivity that we have among all countries.
Language builds a bridge for communication, even in moments of silence, leaving behind a lasting resonance. At the Minnesota State Academy for the Deaf, a special community of teachers and students is engaged in the process of learning Chinese and understanding China through their own unique way.
We offer in-state tuition to all of our international students. It's called a cultural sharing scholarship because we value students from different backgrounds, different cultures, different communities on our campus and in our community. And so really thinking outside the box of how we can integrate the advocacy work and cross-cultural understanding. It's Chinese culture, but the cross-cultural understanding is between the deaf community and the hearing community is what we really aspire to do.
Despite their hearing impairment, all the children here are just as curious about the world as anyone else.
I'm a very social person, and I love history and being with people and different cultures and really learning about the different histories of the world. So I wanted to learn a second language also, is really enjoy people and different people from different countries. And it was just it was a lot. It makes it for being a fun person is to learn another language and interact with other people.
In addition to learning American Sign Language, they can learn a second language, Chinese Sign Language. While the differences between sign languages in these two cultures may not be as pronounced as those in spoken languages, the two systems still exhibit variations.
There's a problem, when you're learning two languages at the same time, right? You're like, which one is which, and how am I learning? And sometimes, yes, ASL and CSL, oops, you do the wrong one, and you don't understand, and you're confused. So you really try to get your mind around and out of the confusion to understand both and switch it to ASL and CSL and back and forth and keep part in one part of my brain and the other part of my brain and shifting back and forth and learning it at the same time. That's why it made learning Chinese in a second language challenging. But I really like to understand and grab and understand both and have both in my brain to live and function. Yeah.
Zhou Xiaorong, the teacher of Chinese Sign Language, is a visiting scholar from China. She herself has hearing impairment and brings with her a background of teaching CSL in China.
I grew up in southern China, so I know sign language and Chinese culture also. And ASL teaching methods here, I merged them both together and really not bring Chinese, just the words, but Chinese, the culture and how it impacts you as a learner to make it interesting.
During her CSL classes, Ms. Zhou frequently interacts with her students and encourages them to participate on stage for practice. Currently, she's dedicated to both teaching and researching strategies to encourage more hearing individuals to learn sign language. Her aim is to diminish communication barriers and create increased job opportunities for people with hearing impairment.
For communication with people and people-to-people exchange, many, many years it's happened. Hearing people look down or really deaf people, they're not equal to hearing people. And so we really want, and what can we do? It's important, to learn about China for deaf people too. Yeah, that's really true. That's really, really true. We're all the same, and we want to stay mellow and, not get angry at each other. No, we don't want to have that happen. Stay calm. Yeah, with your friends. You don't want to become upset with each other. Throw that out in the trash again. Get rid of it. Okay.
The lady translating behind the camera is Catherine Johnson. Her first trip to China was in the summer of 2000. She visited schools for the deaf and mute in cities including Xi'an, Beijing, and Chengdu. Since then, she has dedicated herself to promoting education, fostering exchanges, and championing the rights of the deaf and mute communities in both China and the United States.
To maximize their global competencies, to think outside of the box of what they can do and who they can be and the leader they can become, that deaf students do have capacity for serving in the international community and having a voice at the table and working in international organizations or nonprofits or the World Bank, or that we need to have people who are deaf in leadership roles in those organizations to help impact the international development within the global deaf community.
Currently, CSL teaching programs have been launched in 3 schools located in Minnesota, Iowa, and Delaware. Catherine holds the aspiration that additional schools will join this initiative. Furthermore, she hopes that she will facilitate Chinese deaf and mute visiting student groups in the United States, just as she has done previously, and reciprocally organizing exchanges for American student groups to visit China for meaningful interactions and communication.
I am driving to school on my second to last day of my adventure at Inghua. I announced about a year ago to the Board of Education that my intention was to retire.
Located in northeast Minneapolis, Yinghua Academy stands as the pioneer among Chinese immersion charter public schools.
Good morning, Dr. Lian. Good morning, Helen.
With a decade of experience at Yinghua Academy, Susan has over 30 years of expertise in managing international schools. She is engaged in exchange visits to schools in China twice and has extensively traveled around to gain a first-hand experience of life in China.
Anyway, I was going to show you some of this. Is so much fun here. This is going down the Li River. We went to Guilin and Yangshuo, and we took these little two-person rafts, and all lined up. Right after this, we all tipped and fell in the water. But it was very, very fun.
The box is a present for Susan's 70th birthday, containing cards from her students, as well as photos inside and outside of the box.
These were all of the birthday cards. But again, dragon boat racing, all kinds of, very special moments from all of my years at Yinghua, Dr. Lian and me. This is when we got the National Blue Ribbon Award in 2015. That's in Washington, D.C.
National Blue Ribbon schools receive special recognition from the U.S. Department of Education. Out of the 2,225 schools in Minnesota, only 8 were nominated for this distinction. Ultimately, Yinghua Academy emerged as a standout and won the prestigious award.
I think it's critical that we raise global citizens. So I think it goes beyond learning the language and learning the culture. It really, for me, moves into a way of thinking, a way of looking at the world.
Susan is on the brink of bidding farewell to the school, where she has dedicated a decade of her career. On the final outing day, her colleagues and students surprised her by inviting her family and transforming the event into a heartfelt farewell party. Susan was deeply moved by this gesture. The place holds an abundance of cherished memories for her. She possesses a profound familiarity with every aspect of the environment, and she is determined to always remember her fellow teachers and students. Upon her retirement, Susan intends to embark on a journey around the world with her husband. While her role may shift, her heart remains unwavering. She expressed her commitment to continue contributing her utmost to initiatives that promote positive China-U.S. relations.
是美国的天空和中国的天空，我们在同一片蓝天下。左手拉住我的美国好朋友，右手拉住我的中国好朋友，我们一起看熊猫。
This young girl, who charmingly recites Chinese, goes by the adorable Chinese name Hao Tian Tian. She has been learning Chinese for 3 years.
What did we cook? What are these noodles called?
年条.
Mian Tao.
She seizes every opportunity to practice Chinese at home.
Taste
How do you
test.
say eat?
吃.
Sure.
She even practices with her dog.
下，坐，离坐，坐，下，坐，下。Good girl. Nice dog. Good girl. The pronunciations, like the those are the hard ones, but someday I want to be able to speak them fluently. I like the Chinese tongue twisters more because when I started teaching my family, they would get the words wrong and it would sound like something different and you would always start laughing.
Triple topple bootop pier, triple bootop pier. I don't know.
My favorite one is red fish, green fish, donkey, 红鲤鱼与绿鲤鱼与驴.
The most effective way of learning is through teaching. Therefore, Hao Tiantian has begun to teach her mother, father, and younger sister.
姐姐 I don't know. 姐姐
What does
That's
姐姐 mean?
older sister.
Older sister. Wow. Okay. 姐姐.
Hey. Someday, maybe you could go do something that involves speaking Chinese, and if you don't know Chinese, you'll be like, what are you saying? I don't understand you. But if you do learn Chinese, it'll be good because you could get to talk, and someday, maybe you could interpret someone.
Well, 我回到了美国，交美国朋友的时候，我开始发现我在生活上跟他们的不同。
Sam Bowen was born in America, and he accompanied his parents to China when he was 4 years old. He resided there until the age of 16. However, due to the outbreak of COVID-19 at that time, he was unable to return to China. With extensive experiences in cross-cultural communication and a profound understanding of cultural differences between America and China, Sam possesses insights that exceed those of most individuals.
同学们经常会interrupt 老师讲话，也会跟他们吵架，也会跟他们就是 disagree。所以在尊重和学习方面，我觉得我是比较中国的。我总是觉得人们都是想别人和因为所有人都想别人，我们才可以 like function。但是搬到了美国，我发现人们都是管自己的和管自己没有问题的，因为就是个美国社会就是这样子的。Like I have to speak much louder to get my voice heard because people are always trying to make themselves heard, and there isn't as much opportunity to make sure everyone is getting their say in. Like in China, there's a lot of thinking of the community and making sure that everyone is represented, everyone can voice their opinions. In America, it really is you do what is best for you, and you hope that it turns out okay.
Profound disparities in language and culture have rendered China-U.S. relations particularly delicate on the global stage. However, an encouraging trend has emerged, as an increasing number of individuals have undertaken the task of spreading Chinese culture. They engage people from diverse generations and ages, striving to narrow the cultural gap. Professor Walker, Principal Susan, Professor Liu, Li Dong, Pat, Hao Tiantian, and countless others have collectively built a bridge connecting American and Chinese cultures. It is hoped that by knowing each other better, the people in China and the U.S. will enjoy amicable relations forever.
美国联邦政府关门的危机，澳洲俄乌冲突将是笼罩此次峰会的阴影。敦促其他国家要避免火上浇油。我在这个半个地球以外的华盛顿给找到了。他们希望让自己的生活变得更加美好。
你好吗？
This was the first group of students I took to China.
My journey is deep into China.
Not too many people get this view.
Very inspiring to look at.
Yes, this one's ready.
Mr. Christopher Nolan.
It's very exciting to be back in Shanghai.
I'm at NYU Shanghai. Give you an exclusive tour inside.
让更多的外国人更加理解了上海话的内涵。
可以接“一带一路”倡议。
大家可以看一下，我们这儿有2个小角星，是中国制造。
搭载着天河核心舱的长征5号 B 遥2运载火箭从这里点火起航。
First villages in the city to be renovated as got to be 的语言标准。
Welcome to the premiere of Chinese puzzle.
Learning the differences.
SMG International.
The Yangtze River has played a crucial role in the country's development over thousands of years by providing water for crops and being used as a means of transportation. Regarded as one of the cradles of Chinese civilization, cultural heritage flourished along its banks, becoming home to a variety of ancient treasures.
In Chinese, we call it Changjiang, which means the long river. And actually, it is indeed the longest river in China, measuring 6,300 kilometers. From the map, it actually starts somewhere here, running through Qinghai, Tibet Transfer Region, Sichuan, Yunnan, Chongqing, Hubei, Hunan, Jiangxi, Anhui, Jiangsu, and finally through Shanghai to the East China Sea. The upper reaches stretch from its headwaters in the Tanggula Mountains all the way to Yichang in Hubei Province. And the central Yangtze reaches are from Yichang to Hukou of Jiangxi Province, and the lower Yangtze runs from Hukou to Shanghai. The banks of the Yangtze River are where many regional cultures have flourished. Bashu in the southwest, Chu in the central region, and Wuyue in the east. More than 40 World Heritage sites, World Heritage irrigation structures, and globally important agricultural heritage systems can be found along the river. For example, the Liangzhu ruins in Zhejiang province have gained recognition as proof Chinese civilization existed at least 5,000 years ago. The Sanxingdui ruins in Guanghan, Sichuan province are believed to be the remnants of the Shu kingdom, which dates back over 4,000 years. Archaeological discoveries along the Yangtze have shown it was used to trade with the outside world. Let's start our treasure hunt along the river so as to understand how ancient Chinese traded and interacted with other peoples. Well, I think we've just arrived at the perfect place to get our treasure hunt started. The
The Yangtze River is often referred to as China's golden waterway because trade between China and foreign countries was born and flourished along the river. I don't know about you, but when I think treasure, I think money. So what kind of currency the ancient Chinese used to trade? Well, this isn't exactly what I was hoping for, but the 3,000-year-old Sanxingdui ruins in Guanghan of Sichuan province have unearthed many of these seashells from Indian Ocean. That means in the ancient Shu kingdom, now it's in Sichuan province, had already established trade connections with the outside world using these seashells as currency.
这可以说明，就早在商周时期几千年前，中国的这个内陆已经和海外，尤其是这个印度洋沿岸、印度、东南亚等地有非常密切的这种文化交流，可以说明我们今天的这个全球化，在当时可以说各国各地之间的这种交流就已经是有一个苗头在了。三星堆遗址出土的这些海贝呢，它有很大的比例都是这种环纹货贝。而且这种环纹货贝呢是经过人工的加工处理的，它是有一个磨平，然后还有一些可以穿孔，就方便人们把它们穿系起来。因为夏商时期比较久远，当时这个人工货币应该还没有出现和流通，所以呢这个海贝呢在三星堆遗址它也是在古蜀文明当中也是比较难得的，所以呢它主要是用于一种上层阶级的这样一种财富的象征，而在中下层的普通民众呢，其实当时主要还是使用一种物物交换的这样一种交易方式。
As human society evolved, coins were invented. I found a treasure almost entirely decorated in coins. This item is a money tree, and it was discovered in a tomb in Sichuan province. It dates back to the Eastern Han dynasty, which coincides with the period of the Roman Empire. In ancient China, the legendary money tree shed coins when shaken and still represents good fortune today. This artifact unearthed in Mianyang of Sichuan province is 1.5 meters tall. Its base is made of pottery clay, and the body, including these branches and leaves, are made of bronze. The decorative birds, fairies, mythical creatures, and copper coins are very typical for a money tree of the time, reflecting people's common wish of becoming wealthy. It also proved how important commerce was during Eastern Han dynasty.
这个摇钱树我们也看它的制作是比较精细的，而且这么大一株青铜浇铸的树，所以我们可以想象一般的普通老百姓家庭是没有办法使用的。所以呢，在当时主要就是上层的贵族阶级或者是比较有钱的人才能够使用这样一种陪葬品。一方面就是希望能够借助这种通天通地的这样一种神树来实现自己长生不死或者是来世幸福的这样一种祈愿。另一方面呢，树上的这些铜钱也是代表了这个墓主人也好，他对他的后世的子孙也好，希望能够拥有财富的这样一种愿望。那这种神树崇拜呢，其实不止在中国属地，在中国的其他地区，还有世界其他地区都有这种类似的神树崇拜，可能不一定是跟古蜀文明同一时期的。在这个古印度啊，也有这种青铜的神树，在西亚等地也有这种神树的传说。
这个就是当时很重对全铜。
Well, that was both educational and fun. Please join me for part 2 of the series as I flow through the middle reaches of the Yangtze River and find some more of its little-known treasures.
密密麻麻的所有的三大家，我昨天晚上都睡不着，背不下来。我每次看这种都很焦虑。多看一下呀，推着我走，太近
长颈、溜肩、古腹、撇足，形似橄榄，硕大饱满的桃果令人垂涎欲滴。蝙蝠如粉蝶展翅翻飞，代表了整个清代粉彩的最高技艺。谁曾想到，它曾流落海外，作为台灯的灯座使用，瓶底险些被穿孔。沾满尘埃的花瓶，在公元2002年再度漂洋过海，辗转来到了上海博物馆。
我是上海博物馆陈可伦，今天为大家讲述一件国宝回归的故事。把那个箱子打开的时候，我们几个人眼睛都一亮，我们没有见过这么好的粉彩，而且画的这个图案。这一件是雍正粉彩里面的绝品，世界上任何的博物馆收藏家手里都没有，唯一的一件。两头尖嘛，像橄榄。大清雍正年制的这青花款，还加上粉彩的图案，18个桃子和2个蝙蝠，他画的是非常非常的精细，而且有非常吉祥的寓意。桃象征长寿，蝙蝠象征福气。
没有人知道他如何离开紫禁城，又经历了一段怎样的漂流。直到公元2002年，拍卖行的专家偶然发现了他。
我们当时非常急切地问拍卖行，是谁的收藏，准备怎么办？他说准备参加春天的拍卖，底价是2000万港币。当时因为我们上海博物馆的设计经费没那么多，我们就很遗憾地跟他告别了。
2002年，在中国香港拍卖会上，他被张永贞博士以4150万港元竞得，打破了清代瓷器的拍卖世界纪录。张永贞出身于古董世家，祖父张吉如以善刻善古名闻一时，父亲张仲英是民国时期有名的古董商，哥哥正是堪称为当今海内外古董巨擘名家的张宗宪。
因为张永贞女士呢，她是出生在上海，然后她就觉得应该捐给上海，她就请她哥哥打电话给我们上海博物馆，她哥哥慎重地问了她3次，你想好了，你拿走就是了，而且不要写收条。他非常非常豁达，就把它拿到了上海。
在大清雍正年间，景德镇官窑的工匠精心烧制了这件花瓶，将它送往紫禁城。它在盛世诞生，于战乱飘零，如今存世仅此一件。赤子之心成就了他的归乡之路。如今的他，在展厅里迎接着8方来客，在世人面前绽放光彩。从此不再飘零。这是一对清代康熙年间的硬核，外形小巧玲珑，幼稚莹润自然，桃花红中泛出些许绿苔。正所谓满身苔点，泛于桃花春浪间。令人意想不到的是，在这世间，他还有一位不同肤色的孪生姊妹。
这件瓷器呢，它有它的特殊性，就是红这是一点点，而以绿色为主的 到目前为止很难看到，就是一个非常名贵的一个硬核产品。
这对硬核名为豇豆红釉，器物表面却呈现绿釉色调，井盖面局部有红色，存世极其罕见，当属绝世珍品。它釉色莹润，清新淡雅如苹果绿，好似萌发一个春天的绿意。底施白釉，若大清康熙年制青花楷书款。
康熙19年，清朝的皇帝第一次命令景德镇御窑厂大规模的烧造瓷器，那么这个瓷器中间呢，就有这个品种。
这是景德镇御窑厂第一次大规模烧造瓷器，工匠重新烧制出了一种明代晚期失传的红釉，那是一种极美的浅红色，娇艳似孩童脸颊，有如3月桃花，称为娃娃脸、桃花片。豇豆红釉中散缀着天然绿色胎点，深浅不一，被称作美人醉或美人计。
红的颜色呢，就像秋天的这个豇豆的颜色，所以呢，这个清代的人呢，都把它称为豇豆。这个名字呢，一直就叫到现在。
作为景德镇御窑厂创烧的官瓷名品，豇豆红釉瓷器仅供宫廷使用，烧成难度大，传世数量极少，而绿色更是万里挑一，可遇而不可求。康熙豇豆红釉贵为清代御制文房开山鼻祖，因为战乱流出清宫。民国年间，赞德楼主、银行家胡惠春购得这对硬盒，长期珍藏。此后，他曾将珍藏的明清官窑瓷器等各类文物数百件分批捐献给上海博物馆。2021年，侨居美国的赞德楼后人又将这对硬盒正式捐赠。豇豆红釉曾在明代晚期失传，又在康熙年间失而复得，登峰造极，红绿相间，恰似桃花春浪。千万次烧造，一次偶然，成就如此妙品，万里挑一的美人计，在离开清宫后，历经300余年光阴，分毫无伤。如今，他来到上海博物馆，将对世人绽放绝世容姿。3000多年前的安阳，草木畅茂，野生犀牛沐浴在和煦的阳光下。这是一种古老而庞大的生灵，地球陆地上仅次于大象的大型食草动物。
我们传统说的8宝里面就包括犀角，犀角是非常珍贵的。做成杯型，它肯定是饮酒为主，绝大多数犀角杯是赏玩。
犀角雕云涛海兽杯出自明代中晚期，杯身浮雕祥云海涛，波浪中翻腾各色神兽，手柄刻为苍球，汉生杯内，一如大明王朝出征海洋的气魄。
云涛海兽杯在传世的犀角器里面是非常少的。唐代以后啊，中国没犀牛了，大家都不知道犀牛长什么样。明清时候，犀牛角都是进口的，主要是通过南洋的这个海运渠道。 跨过了万里波涛之后来到中国的。碑心它也做成漩涡，你如果仔细看，常常会有一种惊心动魄的感觉。
赤壁怀古图曾经出现在历代文人画中，苍松翠柏，江水湍急。苏轼与黄庭坚、佛印和尚泛舟江上，畅叙幽情。这一次，他被纤毫毕现地雕刻于犀角器之上。
赤壁图呢，本身就是非常恢宏的一个画面，卷起千堆雪，惊涛拍岸。东坡等3人在这个扁舟上面观览山川，讨论历史。那么最有意思的是呢，杯子里面还有一条龙，它是把前后赤壁赋两者的意境都融合在一件器物上面。
周文书雕赤壁图犀角杯，画意取苏东坡《前赤壁赋》故事，杯身刻行楷名，仿赵宗学笔《前赤壁图》，上元周文书制。
明末清初，犀角雕刻呢突破了纯粹的工匠的范畴，开始和文人艺术相结合。它其实反映的是一个时代的风气。
2015年，瑞士华裔收藏家裘大雄向上海博物馆捐赠明清时期犀角器珍品，由上博专家从他50余件即将拍卖的犀角藏品中任意挑选。上海博物馆原藏犀角器100余件，在全世界成规模的中国犀角器收藏中占有重要地位。
我们这批优秀的犀角的雕刻工艺品，都是无可比拟的这样一种珍宝，非常有价值的遗产。
曾栖息于华夏大地的犀牛，只能以文物、诗词等方式流于历史星河中。古人以巧夺天工的犀角雕刻艺术，让它以另一种形态辗转留存于世。这些典藏在博物馆的天工绝品，也是对生息繁衍在地球上的古老生灵的纪念。这是一件明代紫檀插尖榫大画案，用材重硕，沉稳敦实，线脚优美简练，足端稍作雕饰，鸭腿边缘灯草线简约灵动，一派浑然天成。
明式家具技术的核心就是榫卯，这个三角形的结构叫插尖榫，它有这么一个特点，压得越重它越紧。这种插尖榫它这个历史比较悠久，在宋代和五代的绘画上就可以看到类似的插尖榫的这个结构。
榫卯是极为精巧的古代发明，凸者为榫，凹者为卯，榫卯活拆，无钉无铆不用胶。这种充满东方智慧的传统木匠工艺，距今已有7000多年的历史。榫卯是东方木文化的精髓，也是中国工匠精神的传承。
榫卯结构呢，它是可以很方便拆卸的，大型的家具必须是做活拆的这种结构，便于搬运。通过插尖榫这个结构呢，桌面、腿足还有牙条3位一体，把它结合在一起，能够做到严丝合缝、浑然一体的这个效果。这种线条要求是非常高的，也是制作的一个难点。 这个紫檀插尖榫大花案是王世襄先生旧藏的庄氏家族捐赠给我们这批家具里面最重要的一件，自晚清以来一直被称作第一紫檀画案。
这件画案原是康熙年间要员大文人宋洛家中的传世之物。
清末光绪年间，清宗室一个人物叫爱新觉罗蒲同，民国4公子之一。他当时找人刻了这96个字上去以后呢，就是讲述了这个画案大致的一个流传的经历。
题诗记载，画案源自于河南商丘宋家祠堂中，浦洞购得之后就运往北京，此后由著名文物专家王世襄先生所藏，长期作为书桌使用。这件画案被民间家具研究界公认为重器中的重器。紫檀木是硬木中的王者，深得当时文人钟爱。得益于明代发达的海运，这些珍贵的木材从南洋诸国被运往中国。设计者以当时的文人审美画出家具图样，再交由出色的木工制作而成。
很简约的这种文人气质，主要是江南地区非常崇尚这个家具陈设是很有关系的。明式家具对家具造型的优化处理，最主要是通过线脚这个手段来完成的。你能够从这些缺陷上面看得出它有手工制作的痕迹，那么就是它高明的地方。
桌椅方几，折射出中国人消费生活方式的巨变。明式家具用中国式的智慧与时髦，开创了一个时代的审美风范。直至今天，它依然深刻影响着中国人的造物美学。它来自西周早期，是青铜器中的异类。它长颈广口，方圆结合，通体光素。长久的兽首露出獠牙，宽厚弧曲的垂翼如同鸟的尾翼，较劲的神兽与轻灵的飞鸟隐藏其中，彰显着主人身份的尊贵。
它是光束无纹饰的，这个在青铜器当中是很特别的一种装饰手法。另外呢，它整个的器型在所有的青铜器里面，它是独一无二的。
这是一件西周早期的青铜酒器，方圆变化的器身，两侧的判和随形而下的装饰物，都展示着它的与众不同。
圆口方体其实是反映了古人的一种天圆地方的宇宙观，同时呢，方圆结合也表现了古人的青铜器造型上的一种刚柔相济的艺术理念。
没有人知道它出土何时，在地底沉睡了多久，只有印刻在它身上的22字铭文记载了它因何来到世上。在距今3000多年前的西周，鲁侯为记载其在征伐东国之战中立有大功，而将它铸造出来。
魏王令明公遣3族伐中国，明公是周公的儿子，肯定他就是在西周早期的一件青铜器。青铜器我们过去叫做礼器，礼器是过去贵族阶层的一个身份的象征，每一个贵族都必须有与自己身份相符的青铜器。
青铜器在古时被称为金或极金，本色金黄，其铜锈呈青绿色，而这件鲁侯尊通体光素呈暗黑色， 不同于其他青铜器斑驳残缺的沧桑感，它的身上似乎没有留下岁月的痕迹。
这是轻工处理青铜器的一种手法，外面的锈一般会清洗掉，乌梅汁啊等等这一类的酸性的物质呢，把这些铜锈去掉，在外面再上了蜡以后呢，往往就形成了这样的一种这个表面的这个颜色的成色。
鲁侯尊出土后曾由清宫收藏，乾隆时期编撰的西清古鉴中收录有这件尊。清晚期，这件尊流出宫外，被著名的收藏家潘祖荫所获，之后又被藏家李英轩所得。1979年，李英轩的遗孀邱辉女士遵李英轩的遗愿，将其捐赠给了上海博物馆。
中国的青铜器种类繁多，铸造技术精湛，纹饰的绚丽多彩，是任何一个文明古国都无法比拟的这么一个历史的高度。它是一个礼器，各个铸造作坊用我们现在的话来说就是官商，它等于是要倾全国的这个技术力量来为官商服务，所以它做出的青铜器就是世界上独一无二了。
3000多年前，鲁侯征战东方，获得了这件尊贵的青铜酒器，后世子孙光耀门楣。王朝更迭，江山易主，时间仍在行走。先民用智慧铸造了青铜礼器，后人以赤诚守护了家国礼仪。青铜器上那些古老的铭文，诉说着身世，记录了历史，也雕刻了文明。鱼戏莲叶间，畅游碧波中。孔雀绿釉的掩映下，青花愈发幽深，蓝绿相融，恰似一江春水。馥郁的色彩，活泼的纹饰，为这件成化官窑瓷器赋予了灵动的气息。
孔雀绿属于一种比较珍稀的一个品种，整个烧造数量不是很多的，而孔雀绿和青花结合在一起的器物就更加的罕见。现在传世品当中能够保存得如此之好，烧造工艺如此精致的制品，可能也就是仅此一件。
莲花盛开，荷叶亭亭，自尾于游曳其间，形态各异，妙应天然，别具雅趣。
这个纹饰呢，也是中国传统纹饰里面的一种，我们叫做鱼藻纹。4条鱼呢，分别是青鱼、白鱼、鲤鱼、桂鱼，主要是取前面青白两个意思，寓意清白廉洁。
孔雀绿釉俗称珐翠，又称翡翠釉，此种釉色烧成后呈翠绿色调，色泽宛如孔雀的羽毛。
我们发现了最早的孔雀绿釉的制品是在景德镇御窑厂永乐地层当中发现的。这一件呢，除了孔雀绿釉以外，它还加了一个青花，青花是在孔雀绿釉之下的，所以说就更加的珍贵，更加的少见。
成化时期的青花所用青料以国产的平等青取代了从西亚进口的苏麻离青。青花趋于柔和淡雅，清新脱俗，青花照以孔雀绿釉，色泽馥郁，别有韵味。
底款呢，它的成色就是典型的成化的青花的成色，罩上了这个孔雀绿釉的青花，明显就是比较深沉。比 永乐宣德的青花是比较厚重沉稳，而成化的青花呢是比较柔和淡雅，代表了两个时代的不同的这种审美的趣味和爱好。
官窑的能工巧匠根据宫中样稿，用青料绘制鱼藻纹饰，通体遍施孔雀绿釉，入窑再次焙烧。此时的青花呈现出馥郁的黑蓝色，翡翠色的湖水中，鱼类与水生植物产生了一种立体感。古人运用色彩的功力可见一斑。
制造的工艺啊，这种胎釉啊，包括它的款式，它的绘画的方法，明显就是官窑瓷器的风格，都是实用性餐具。同样纹饰有不同大小的盘、碗、勺，当时皇室烧造的也是这样的，一套一套的。
孔雀绿釉青花是明代景德镇窑创烧的新品种，这批成套烧造、相同纹饰的成化官窑瓷器目前存世罕见，由藏家陈器成于1980年捐赠，入藏上帛。青花是以孔雀绿釉造就一潭碧翠深水，青出于蓝而胜于蓝，青绿两釉相叠，交相辉映，相互成就，如丹青点墨，完成了一场色彩的魔术。
中国、韩国和日本
美国联邦政府关门的危机，俄乌冲突将是笼罩此次峰会的阴影。
敦促其他国家要避免火上浇油。
我在这个半个地球以外的华盛顿给找到了。
他们希望让自己的生活变得更加美好。
你好吗？
This was the first group of students I took to China.
My journey is deep into China.
Not too many people get this view.
Very inspiring to look at.
Yes, this one's ready.
Mr. Christopher Nolan.
It's very exciting to be back in Shanghai.
I'm at NYU Shanghai. Give you an exclusive tour inside.
让更多的外国人更加理解了上海话的内涵。
上海地
可以做“一带一路”倡议。
大家可以看一下，我们这儿有两个小角架，中国制造。
搭载着天河和金仓的长征5号 B 遥2运载火箭从这里点火起航。
First villages in the city to be renovated as got to be 的语言标准。
Welcome to the premiere of Chinese puzzle.
Learning the differences.
SMG International.
that nobody had done for 25 years on the American side. I have done what I've done.
He is the first U.S. official to ever set foot on the territory of a new China. In the U.S., he is considered the brains behind White House operations and granted the same stature as the president. In China, he is a highly respected guest of honor.
He's an exciting person to work with because he's always thinking about foreign affairs.
Well, Dr. Kissinger is one of the most charming people I've ever met. He's very funny. He's very clever.
Kissinger is a great strategist. He knows how to shape friendship.
这个人呢，很有学问，他是一个学者。
He had, of course, a pivotal role in opening up China, a role that China has not forgotten, but which America has not either.
During 30 years of Sino-US diplomatic relations, he appeared in both political arenas frequently, making continuous efforts to improve the relationship between the two countries. He is the hero responsible for the defrosting of the relationship between two great nations. His name is Henry Kissinger.
It isn't often in your life that you can do something that's new. That nobody had done for 25 years on the American side.
中华人民共和国中央人民政府今天胜利了。
在60年代这个初期到中期这个时候呢，那么中国就喊出了反帝反修的口号，反对反修的，那就是美国和苏联一起打了，就是我们把他们都看成是自己的敌人，那么同时呢要同他们展开进行斗争，那么所以就是1966年爆发的文化大革命就对外政策来看，那么当然是强调的就是这套革命的路线了。但是这样做呢，其实是有一个很大的问题，就是作为中国这样一个国家，同时要面对两个对手啊，那么这个压力还是很重的。
新中国成立以后，美国对我们中国一直采取敌对态度，遏制我们，孤立我们，反对我们。这个不承认我们，而且鼓励蒋介石反攻大陆，霸占台湾，所以我们两国之间呢一直没有来往。朝鲜战争以后，我们中国人民志愿军出兵抗美援朝以后，那么两国的关系更加紧张。
It was an odd relationship because basically there had been nothing since 1949. And so there were virtually no contacts. There was no trade, there was no tourism, there was no journalism, no diplomats, virtually no exchange between the People's Republic of China and the United States. And people living outside China knew very little about what was going on inside China.
But one can learn a lot about China by reading history books. And I went to some universities for seminars to educate myself. That was a little difficult because the professors always wanted to talk to me about current problems, and I wanted to talk to them about long-range problems.
And being someone with a strong sense of history, I think he tried to understand the history of China so that he would understand contemporary China, the China with which he was going to be dealing.
Another nagging issue of the time was the arms race between the US and Soviet Union, which was growing in intensity, as was the Soviets' intent to expand. Late in the evening of August 20th, 1968, the Soviet Union turned out an army of 250,000 soldiers, occupying the whole area of Czechoslovakia overnight.
Fundamentally, it's the U.S. fear of an expansionist Soviet Union that has posed a great threat to America. Therefore, America needs to work out an international movement, international alliance to counter the Soviet aggression. So Americans thought that now China has two enemies, US and the Soviet Union. But at the same time, US has had two enemies, Chinese communism and Soviet communism. And the Soviet Union has two enemies, America and China. So it's very interesting. These three major countries in the world has formed a kind of relationship that each would counter other two major actors in the world.
We had an obligation also to improve our relations with Moscow. But our relations to Beijing made it clear to Moscow that we would oppose any what we called hegemony, namely dominating the world.
他们去决定，就是说他们要打独救就打独救。
就是1969年5月份前后吧，那么毛泽东要求这个陈毅啊，他们这几个老帅，就说来一起去研究中国的对外政策。那么，他们最后得出一个结论了，实际上就是苏联。 同美国相比了，苏联是一个更加重要的威胁。那么，中国呢，应该把主要的这个斗争矛头，这个推准苏联。
The American side, motivation for approaching Beijing to a large extent was fueled by the benefits the nation would reap. At the end of the 60s, Richard Nixon took office, leaving the US mired in an awkward position amidst the backdrop of the Vietnam War. The US government had begun to realize what a grave mistake it was to get involved in the war. However, to correct this mistake was no easy task.
The Khe Sanh siege turns many Americans against the war. As the battle ends, a Gallup poll shows that 1 in 5 Americans switch from support to opposition.
For the United States, very near the top of their list, perhaps top of their list, was Vietnam. The Americans thought that the Chinese could put pressure on North Vietnam to be more conciliatory, to negotiate in good faith. And there had been negotiations going on between the United States and North Vietnam, and they'd really been going nowhere.
Though there had been no contact between China and the US, there still existed channels of communication. Guo Jiading, senior interpreter and diplomat, was in his 30s at the time. He worked as interpreter of the Chinese side during the ambassadorial talks between China and the US in Warsaw, 1962, and witnessed firsthand the hardships and complications of the negotiations.
基辛格那时候多年轻，基辛格向他汇报，向尼克松汇报。中美大世纪会谈最早是在日内瓦举行，1955年8月1号在日内瓦举行。那么到1958年呢，这个台湾海峡局势紧张了，那么中断以后的谈判又恢复了。恢复的时候呢，是在华沙。 一直到华沙1970年2月结束，15年开了135次会议，除了达成一个遣返平民的协议以外，没有任何结果。主要原因就是美国要我们放弃对台湾使用武力。我们说这个是台湾问题是中国的内政， 不可能，中国不可能承担不使用武力。
In 1969, he began the bombing of communist sanctuaries in Cambodia. And when the bombing proved ineffective, he also launched a ground assault over the Cambodian border.
In 1970, China cancelled the Warsaw talks due to the US invasion of Cambodia. The two sides didn't schedule a new meeting after that. However, a tiny ping-pong ball provided Kissinger with some insurance. In the spring of 1971, seemingly out of the blue, the US table tennis team was invited to visit China. What's more, they were received by Zhou Enlai in the People's Hall and accorded high status. Ping-pong diplomacy, as it would later be called, was credited for the small ball's push of the big ball. It changed the course of history.
When China still considered America is an imperialist country, we did not have an official relationship. But we made a friendship. And we reduced American apprehension, Americans' hostility. And we won some American sympathy and support to China.
美国人主动把那个在华沙会谈的时候，通过一个翻译给我们传递信息，就是尼克松总统愿意跟中国谈那个更高层的问题，更高的政治问题，双边的问题，这已经来了一个信号了。然后我们接到这个信号，毛主席、周总理了解到以后，我们就接过来这个信号。
On April 21st, just a week after ping-pong diplomacy made the rounds, China sent word to the US via Pakistan that they were willing to receive envoys of the president. The critical moment was at hand. But who would be chosen to go?
And so there was a very interesting moment where Nixon went through all the people he could send. And Henry Kissinger kept on saying, yes, very good idea, Mr. President, but I don't think he would be able to do the negotiations. And then finally, Nixon mentioned a name of an American diplomat and said, look, he knows China, he's been there, he's dealt with the Chinese before 1949, surely he should go. And Kissinger said, great idea, Mr. President, but unfortunately he is dead. And so Nixon knew all along that he was going to have to send Kissinger, but I think he was reluctant to make the decision.
Nixon wanted somebody who understood his thinking. And I practically lived with Nixon. I saw him 10 times a day. All the business concerned with foreign policy went through my office. So he decided that I was the person in the best position to do that.
Kissinger is a great strategist. He knows how to shape friendship, how to convert a hostile relationship to a cooperative relationship. He may not like an enemy, but he considers that for American security, it's more important to place national security interest above the ideological difference.
I was happy to be chosen. It was an exciting opportunity. It isn't often in your life that you can do something that's new, that nobody had done for 25 years on the American side.
Mr. Kissinger is a very strong man, and he felt that he could do this on his own, and he didn't need the Congress. He informed no one. See, my name is Wolf, but he was a lone wolf.
Before I entered government, as a professor of international relations, I had concluded that an international system without China leaves out a large percentage of humanity and didn't make any sense.
尼克松也好，基辛格也好，就是力图呢，就把一个两极世界转变成一个多极均衡的世界。
Well, the ideal world order is one in which all the major countries are satisfied enough so that they will settle their disagreements by peaceful means. And in general, because the world is so complicated and the population is growing so much around the world, one country alone cannot dictate what a world order should be.
If you're going to change a major policy, like turning a relationship from hostility and isolation toward friendship or engagement at least, this is a very delicate thing, and you can't afford to fail.
That depended very much on establishing very good relations with Asia in general and with China in particular.
To this day, the tensions between each camp remain a mystery. It made logical sense then, at the time, to send a secret envoy to China.
He came to China at the order of his boss, President Richard Nixon, to explore China's mood toward America, how China feels about America, how China look at the present, the then international situation, what China would consider in order to improve relations between China and the United States.
That if we advertised the trip before I went, opponents of the relationship would start setting criteria of what had to be achieved and attach conditions and pay attention in a way that would have made it impossible to have those conversations in such an atmosphere.
I worked on the preparation for the trip at the State Department, but was never told what the trip was about, what the papers I was writing were for. Since I had read the record of the Warsaw talks, I knew, because in fact we proposed such a presidential visit to China, or a visit of an envoy at the last Warsaw talk. So having read that record, I knew what was about to happen.
总理决定成立一个班子，是由总理亲自挂帅，然后有叶帅、叶剑英元帅、黄华、张文静、熊向晖组成一个小组，在钓鱼台4号楼、5号楼，就5月份就开始准备了。准备工作就是要资料，各种准备的这个资料，对基辛格的了解，对尼克松的了解，对整个形势的研究。那么将来怎么对付？那么到7月份的时候，信息已经传过来，那是秘密的。我们那几个人到那个秘密的地方去接那个电话，翻译，再传信儿，其他人都不知道。
In 1971, Kissinger received the long-awaited secret letter from China. He was invited to visit Beijing as a prelude to the US president making his appearance. The letter, which originated from the premier of the new China, Zhou Enlai, was delivered to Kissinger through Pakistani President Yahya Khan.
基辛格那个时候是尼克松派他到南越到泰国，到巴基斯坦来访问。根本没有说过到中国，不可能的，因为当时不可想象的，中美两个是敌对国家，怎么能够这么高级的特使来访问呢？
On the evening of July 6th, Kissinger suddenly suffered stomach pains at the welcome banquet of the president of Pakistan, Yahya Khan.
这个跟叶海亚汗总统是已经没谋好了，就是说，哟，你肚子疼。 大概因为我们伊斯兰堡天气太热，你到我北边的总统官邸去休息去。那么对外就说去养病去了，休息去了，其实他没去，是秘密的做了他们的外事秘书的苏尔坦汗的这个驾驶的专用的军用汽车，戴着墨镜，戴着大檐帽，4个人就到机场。
Just at the last moment, he did get nervous, and he did say to the president, he was leaving from Pakistan to fly to Beijing, and he said to the president of Pakistan, "Will you come with me?" And the president of Pakistan said, "No, I can't leave what I'm doing here." And so Kissinger went off. But it was stepping into an unknown world for Kissinger.
我们决定，派一个8航的专机，张文静那个时候是美大师师长，还有王海荣是礼宾司副司长，还有翻译唐文生，还有唐龙斌是礼宾司的，专门到巴基斯坦去接呢，而且是非常保密的。
We had to leave Pakistan very early in the morning to get here by noon because of time difference. So we left when it was dark, and there was a bed in the back of the plane where I stayed, and Winston Lord went to the front of the plane where the pilots were, and so he has always said, and he's right, that he got to China 10 seconds before I did.
On July 9th, 1971, at 12:15 p.m., the plane landed at the Nanyuan airport on time. General Yue Jianying, Mr. Huang Hua, and other officials were already waiting there. The first one who got off the plane was Henry Kissinger. There was no formal reception. After exchanging simple pleasantries, they then took the Hongqi car and headed for the Diaoyutai State Guest House.
He 有点紧张，开头很拘束。他第一次我们在5号楼会谈的时候，他们4个人嘛，还有一个保镖就不进来了，他就带了一大架的文件，他们算了一下有7公分，这么厚，所以他开始就是照本宣读。这个总理呢，什么文件没有，就一张纸一支铅笔，什么东西没有。他很紧张，照本宣读，一页一页的念，整整7公分的文件。那么后来总理就跟他开玩笑，他说：“你不要念嘛呀，随便讲嘛。”
And we would meet usually early in the afternoon, and then work for 15 hours, and he was never interrupted. So he did me the courtesy of honor of spending all this time. He was always calm, but very intelligent. Think of him with great respect. When I came here the first time, I had prepared a speech which I delivered to Zhou Enlai, and there was one sentence in it that said, "So here we are in a country of mystery." And Zhou Enlai held up his hand and said, "Do you mind if I interrupt you? But can you tell me what is so mysterious about China?" Well, I didn't have a good answer to that. So he said, "There's 1 billion of us, and it is not mysterious to us. Think about that." Well, what I learned from that is to learn more about China.
这个人呢，很有学问， 他是一个学者，而且他用的语言呢都是带哲学性的，句子很长，不是一个演说家那种很那个简短扼要的，每一句句子就很长很长，所以记他的东西呢很不容易。
But the first negotiations between high-level officials in China and America proved to be difficult.
And there were very, very difficult issues in that first visit. One of the difficult issues was the Americans were pushing for some sort of statement on Vietnam and the Soviet Union. The Chinese were not going to give it, whereas the Chinese wanted a firm statement on Taiwan that the Americans would undertake to pull out and drop their support for it. And neither side was going to do that.
每天开到半夜2、3点钟，回来我的整记录。有的时候是开到11点，我1个小时的会议，我要花4个小时的整理，因为我是速记，记下来以后要打出来，还要翻成中文，每天工作到早晨5点。
I thought the Chinese leaders would be like Russian leaders, I admit. And of course, there is a big cultural difference and historic difference in conduct between the two societies. So I was used to the Cold War Russia, which was more confrontational and which made an issue of every little thing became a contest. And the Chinese leaders, when I met them, were concentrating on fundamentals, and smaller things could be settled very quickly.
The most fruitful results of the meeting were the announcement of Kissinger's visit to China and the declaration of President Nixon's future visit to China on invitation.
There can be no stable and enduring peace without the participation of the People's Republic of China and its 750 million people.
The announcement registered like a shot heard around the world.
The announcement I shall now read is being issued simultaneously in Peking and in the United States. Knowing of President Nixon's expressed desire to visit the People's Republic of China, Premier Chou En-lai, on behalf of the government of the People's Republic of China, has extended an invitation to President Nixon to visit China. President Nixon has accepted the invitation with pleasure.
Virtually the next morning, Kissinger got a phone call from the Soviet ambassador in Washington saying, when would you like the summit? We can have it any time. And the Americans then played it very cool, and they said, no, we're already going to China, thank you very much, we'll see you after we go to China. And so it was a way of putting pressure on the Soviets.
The State Department, obviously, as a whole, if you can describe it, felt that it had been cut out.
Nixon did not like the State Department in the United States. He didn't trust them. He felt they were liberals. They were people who wouldn't be in sympathy with his goals. I mean, Nixon was a Republican and had certain goals in the world. And so he had a great suspicion of the State Department.
But it was a great shock and surprise to most people on both sides when the news was released.
We hope that our relations with the People's Republic of China will be improved as a result of the trip. We're not sure what the outcome will be, and we certainly don't want any exaggerated hopes to develop.
The first reason, of course, is that we had a formal relationship with Taiwan at that time and recognized them as the government of China. And so therefore, negotiating how we would change our relationship so that we would recognize Beijing as the government of China was difficult.
3 months later, Dr. Kissinger was assigned another trip to Beijing in October 1971. This was in preparation for the following year's presidential visit. One of the major agendas was to discuss the major contents of Shanghai Communique.
Shanghai Communique 呢，就是说，这个美方承认，这个承认是 acknowledge。台湾海峡两边所有中国人都认为只有一个中国 ，acknowledge 要严格的翻译就是认识到，他没有一个义务。 我认识到你的立场，并不等于我承认你这个立场。Recognize the People's Republic of China as the sole legal government， 它是承认的，这一条最重要，是唯一合法政府。
Again, take the doctor for example. For me personally, you are all the stuff. Taiwan is part of China, and the American government does not challenge that position. This is terrific. From that time on, I told myself, to be a good diplomat, you have to learn from this great diplomat from across that big lake, the Pacific Ocean, the U.S.
That depended very much on establishing very good relations with Asia in general and with China in particular.
Dr. Kissinger is someone who bravely faces down his opposition and works hard to achieve goals during difficult times. His perseverance and audacity are closely intertwined with his childhood experiences. Nazis killed 13 of his close relatives during his childhood. When he was 15 years old, he moved with his family to the United States. America was a completely new place for him. He no longer had to worry about being beaten by a non-Jewish child while walking on the road. It didn't take long for people to recognize his excellent academic performance and wisdom.
It may also have affected him in his attitude towards the United States. The United States, after all, was the place that he and his family found refuge in. And he did very well in the United States. And he was in the American Army during the Second World War. He then got a scholarship to study at Harvard. And so it may well have helped to shape his views towards the United States.
During his PhD years at Harvard, he started to form his own political philosophy. He tended to seek in history things that would be indicative to the current world. Chinese people have a proverb that explains the same idea. Take history as a guide for today.
He doesn't believe in cynically trying to engage in manipulation or wars in order to stabilize a balance of power. He believes that countries need to maintain relationships so that you don't end up having to deal with a predominant power in the world that is hostile to your interests.
My sense is, from what others have written about him, is that it affected him in the sense of his thinking that stability was very important, that ideology was very dangerous, that trying to keep a balanced world was very important.
From February 21st to the 28th, 1972, President Richard Nixon of the United States of America visited the People's Republic of China. This was a dreamlike trip.
Oh, we were all sort of pinching ourselves, you know. This would have been a dream, you know. We thought this was the most exciting thing that we'd done.
In some cases, the reaction of American allies was actually one of shock. The Japanese had not been told of this secret visit, and they learned about it just before Nixon's speech. The Philippines were furious. Indonesia was very angry because none of these countries had been properly briefed or consulted. The British Prime Minister, Edward Heath, was very hurt because he had felt that Nixon was a friend of his, and when Nixon didn't tell him that all this was happening, Heath was very hurt. And I think it contributed to a cooling of relations between the United States and a number of its allies.
I think the public saw that this was a very clever strategic move, and the result over the succeeding months was a real transformation in attitudes, I think, on both sides. The sense in China of rediscovering the United States, and the sense in the United States of discovering a new China that was very, very exciting to explore.
If there was a postscript that I hope might be written with regard to this trip, it would be the words on the plaque which was left on the moon by our first astronauts when they landed there. We came in peace for all mankind. Thank you and goodbye.
Nixon fought the inevitable for 2 torturous years. On Watergate, the House Judiciary Committee passed an article of impeachment charging Nixon with obstruction of justice. But before the House could vote to impeach, Nixon resigned on August 9th.
I shall resign the presidency effective at noon tomorrow.
Just 4 months after Nixon's visit to China, the Watergate scandal broke. On August 9th, 1974, President Nixon became the first president in U.S. history to resign from office. Vice President Ford succeeded him, and the formalization of diplomatic relations between the two countries was suspended.
And it was not possible in these circumstances to raise the problem of the formal recognition. Then a new administration came in, and they required 2 or 3 years to prepare congressional opinion, which had always thought of China as an enemy. So this is what delayed the formal diplomatic relations. But our relations were in fact improving.
However, negotiations concerning the formalization of relations were still taking place, albeit slowly and surreptitiously. Mr. Huang Hua, China's first representative at the United Nations, continued to meet with Dr. Kissinger secretly at a small house on 44th Street in New York.
我们那个时候已经买了一栋楼，在林肯中心，那个10层楼的一个旅店，下面有车库，他就派一辆破车，旧车，很次的旧车，开到车库里边，我们就从车库上上车，去黄华和我，还有一个施艳华当翻译，我呢整个管这个整个会谈，包括记录、写报等等。这个车开出去，开到他的44街的门口，停在那儿，我们就上去。他在那儿跟洛德2个人等着，放着点心、咖啡，然后就谈，谈完了就走，就这样维持1年多的时间。
In 1973, both China and America set up liaison offices in each country, which functioned as temporary embassies. Mr. Platt became one of the first American officials sent to China.
We were the first sort of resident diplomats from the U.S. in China for 23 years or whatever. Anyway, our job was to set up a small office and to start developing contacts with the Chinese and start working on the sort of basic issues, trade, travel, investment, so on and so forth. We started off very, very small.
Deng Xiaoping also met with Dr. Kissinger several times from 1974 to 1975. Their diplomatic efforts contributed a great deal to the normalization of diplomatic relations between the two countries. Eventually, during President Carter's term, both sides agreed that the United States would discontinue its formal relations with Taiwan and rescind its military support. However, America didn't make any concessions concerning arms sales to Taiwan.
I was actually in the room when Deng Xiaoping made the decision to go ahead with the establishing diplomatic relations, even though we could not agree on the arms sales issue. So from China's standpoint, that was a very important compromise.
The problem concerning the sale of arms was eventually resolved 3 years after the formalization of diplomatic relations on August 17, 1982. On January 1st, 1979, the People's Republic of China and the United States of America officially established diplomatic relations. Although Dr. Kissinger retired from his post in 1977, he still has no regrets about the diplomatic process during his term.
I'm rather proud of what we did, and I think it is some advantage that several American presidents of both political parties were involved.
I just saw Dr. Kissinger last week at a conference, and I said to him that his efforts in working with the Chinese government to open up China helped so many families, including my own. My father did not see his mother for 23 years. So there are so many Chinese families who were separated unintentionally, who did not want to be separated. And because of the opening up of China and his role in that, he helped to reunify and reunite families.
Dr. Kissinger recognized the importance of the relationship, and in 1989, in the fall, he came to China, met with Deng Xiaoping at that time, and he came again during the period when I was there. We didn't have very many senior American visitors at that time, so I felt that his visits were extremely helpful.
I think conflict between China and the United States is unfortunate for both countries. And I have a certain responsibility as the first American to come here, American official, to maintain that relationship.
In 1982, Dr. Kissinger set up his consulting company, Kissinger Associates. Many company leaders wanted to know the answer to questions such as how to do business in China.
Okay, Roberto.
According to Stapleton Roy, Dr. Kissinger visited China every year during his term as the American ambassador to China, from 1991 to 1995. Each time he visited China, he would spend a great deal of time unearthing new information about China's plight and the development of Sino-US relations.
At this moment in history, China and the United States have a special responsibility. We are the most advanced industrial country, but by a narrower margin than before. China is the most dynamic developing country, and we are on opposite sides of the Pacific. So between us we cover a great part of humanity and the world. So we have a special responsibility to work together closely. And I'm happy that we are making good progress. I like the Chinese people, and I like Chinese culture. And as a student of history, I admire a country, the only country in the world, that has an uninterrupted history of 4,000 years of self-government. That is a tremendous achievement. And I appreciate the human qualities that I have discovered in my Chinese friends of loyalty and reliability and intelligence.
Dr. Kissinger is now considered an old friend of China. After leaving office, he enjoyed an outstanding reception from both the Chinese government and the people during his subsequent visits to China. In the past, what Dr. Kissinger did to enhance Sino-US relations was for the sake of national interests. But he would form an unmistakable bond with the country after getting further acquainted with China and the Chinese people.
Former U.S. Secretary of State, Dr. Henry Alfred Kissinger.
My parents taught me to do whatever I thought was most important and whatever could make the greatest contribution, and always to keep that in mind. I'm now in my 80s. I have done what I've done, and people can read about it and make up their own mind about it. But I'm not going to analyze why I did it.
美国联邦政府关门的危机，澳俄乌冲突将是笼罩此次峰会的阴影。敦促其他国家要避免火上浇油。在这个半个地球以外的华盛顿给找到了。他们希望让自己的生活变得更加美好。
你好吗？
This was the first group of students I took to China.
My journey is deep into China.
Not too many people get this view.
Very inspiring to look at.
Yes, this one's very good.
Mr. Christopher Nolan.
It's very exciting to be back in Shanghai.
I'm at NYU Shanghai. Give you an exclusive tour inside.
让更多的外国人更加理解了上海话的路。
上海地顶
可以接“一带一路”倡议。
大家可以看一下，我们这儿有两个小角星，是中国制造。
搭载着天河和金仓的长征5号 B 遥2运载火箭，从这里点火起航。
First villages in the city to be renovated as got to be 的语言包子。
Welcome to the premiere of Chinese puzzle.
Learning the differences. 对我佩服，但月光下却一直害怕自己退步。你别理我。
SMG International.
Be very excited!
What would you do with a hot day in Shanghai?
Sunset.
Grab some local food? Maybe buy something nice along Shanghai's famous shopping street.
Very nice.
Explore some hot Instagram spots. And a little bit of sightseeing is always fun.
Just like a Barbie house.
and the view from the tower never disappoints. Me and my friend put together an awesome road that will let you explore the best of Shanghai in just half a day. And if you are curious about mobile payment, Alipay and WeChat will have you covered. It's the most convenient way to get around.
Nice to meet you guys!
Right now we are walking to the metro station, Shanghai Jiaotong University Station, to go to the People's Square Station.
Today's pollution, like, it's very
low, right?
Yeah, very low, very low level. So the air is very good. So you can breathe and you can even smell the flowers. Can you hear the birds?
Oh yes, I heard the sound of the birds. Very natural around the uni.
What about visitors from Thailand? How you guys can come?
Yes, I think from what I noticed that from the 1st of March 2024, Thai passport holders can come to China for 30 days visa exemption.
Oh,
that's very kind and very good for
That's very
people,
nice.
to come and see how Shanghai is, the development, and also to other cities in China.
Oh, that's very nice. So basically, from this year, it's been only a couple of weeks, right? So Thai people can come. For Russian people, for touristic groups, there's visa exemption. But if you come by yourself, there's application procedures. But now they've been simplified. So
okay. So it's also still easy.
It's very easy. So if you considering coming to China, to Shanghai, you should do it. You definitely should do it.
Jiaotong University Station. In this station, we have line 10 and line 11. Very convenient.
We're so lucky. Let's show you how to get a ticket.
So number one, you can go to the ticket machine. You can click English. You can choose the line that you would like to go.
Yeah, you should pick the road.
The road.
And the price is gonna be calculated according to the distance. You see different prices. So
right now we are at line 10. So where are we going next? We are going to
line 2.
Line 2. So previous line 2. And then we are going to People's Square. Versus
here.
Yes.
So People's Square.
Yes. So basically, you choose. It's gonna show you the price of one people, and if you need more people, you can just choose, like, for example, 2. And you can click the QR code payment. So can foreigners use their Alipay if they don't have Chinese bank cards?
Yeah, it's very easy. What I love about China is how convenient the payment system is. So let's say in Russia, you have to carry cash around and cards. In China, you don't need it. The only thing you need is your phone with you.
Basically, you go to Alipay, and then you can just click here, and then bank card, and then you just add it. Your international bank cards. They accept Visa, MasterCards, Diners Club, Discover, JCB, and UnionPay. So it's very easy. You can have a look at mine. So for example, I also bind to my 2 Thai bank cards, the MasterCard one and also Visa. So very convenient. You can just click scan, and then you just scan it. Yeah, and then you can choose the bank card that you want. For example, I can choose MasterCard, something like this. We're gonna buy it today, or we're gonna use other QR code to do it?
We're just gonna use our QR code because of why.
More convenient, right?
And we're safe.
Yes.
Number 1. You just go to the transport and choose bus, metro, or taxi. So metro, and you just use the QR code.
Yeah, with the QR code. Very easy.
So which line are we taking?
I think we are taking line 11. This application, I think it's very convenient for foreigners. It's called Metroman Shanghai.
I use it too.
Yeah, this app.
If you're not sure about the name of the station, you can just go to the whole map.
Yeah, the web of metro system.
Yeah, you can choose starting point and your final destination. Hi.
2. Yeah, something like this, very easy, and then like it shows you like how much you have to pay
and what transfers to take. Another great part about choosing Shanghai as your starting destination for exploring China is a lot of people, they do speak English. If they don't, they still gonna try to point the direction for you, or sometimes they even will offer to take you to the station you need. So sweet.
So which side are we going?
People Square side.
People Square. I think it should be to International Airport.
Yes. The final destination for the line number 2 is Pudong Airport. And People Square is coming.
You have to pass Jing'an Temple with Nanjing, and then it's gonna be People Square.
So fast. You have to line up here, and people living from that direction always follow the lead. Time for a snack before lunch. Now we're getting more people because everybody is going to People Square. The hottest place. Yes, the hottest place in Shanghai. Even on weekdays, the enormous amount of people.
Exactly, yes.
Tourists, international tourists, domestic tourists, everybody wants to visit Nanjing Road.
It's very iconic.
Ready to exit? Exit 19 is right here. Scan to leave. Hello.
Hello. So exit 19 is the closest to Nanjing Road?
Yes, it is. When the weather is nice, like today, you can take the pedestrian street, which is, I think, 1.2 kilometers long.
Yes, very long, but it's full of things, full of attractions and also shops and restaurants along the way.
I read somewhere that it's more than 600 businesses presented here. 600! Oh. Can you imagine it? Oh my God. Ooh, look at the view, so magnificent. It's the biggest advertisement. So you know that you come to the place of shopping, the shopping paradise. So this is the underground street. People walking around. You can see a lot of tourists.
Yes, both domestic and international.
Yes. Or some people, they specifically come here for shopping, so they carry a luggage. Our first destination is Nanjing Road.
Such a sunny day.
So many international flagship stores.
Flagship stores.
Yes. Wow, so cute. She loves Shanghai. Hello.
好可爱。
Hello.
你叫什么？你叫什么？你好可爱，你好可爱。
Come here.
看，妞妞挨住点。来，妞妞看我。
你好可爱。
Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.
So
cute, so sweet. Okay. This is my 老师 teacher.
I'm learning Chinese.
My Chinese is not as good as his, so sometimes I ask him like how to say something. So it's another plan for today. But 老师 Pigeon is gonna teach you some useful words.
Yeah, sure.
Number 1, 可爱, cutie. Oh, Shanghai rabbit. This is
yes.
for milky candies.
Yeah, it's very famous.
Shanghai
very
signature.
Shanghai.
But I'm more interested in the local cuisines, in the local treats.
You could have a try.
Yes, let's discover something special.
But sometimes some people are very nice. They tell me that like, oh, be careful of your phones, something like that.
Yeah, just like, or just a couple minutes ago, one of the gentlemen, he suggested to be careful of my back and take care of it because it's right here. So he was like, be careful because it's too crowded here. But it's China. It's very safe actually because a lot of CCTVs and you know that nothing gonna happen to you. You can just trust the system.
Just keep your belongings safe. Oh, I think this is very typical brand for Shanghainese.
Shanghai brand.
Yes,
New
Shanghai
Ren.
New Ren is
Women. For Shanghai girls only.
Yeah, I think they have like cream, facial cream, and different types of things. Oh,
let's try.
这是为了免不香水. It's perfume. This one is perfume.
It smells so nice.
30块钱一个，然后买5个。
30一个，30 yuan for
two
one. For one.
For one.
Yes. 这也是香水对吗? This is also
it's very cheap. Very affordable.
Yes. Oh, very nice.
I like it.
Very relaxing.
Do you know what everybody should check out? Is Shanghai first food hall. Wow, so crowded. Let's check specialties. Meatballs.
That could be the intestine.
Yeah, look like that. What about this one?
Duck, maybe?
Pigeons.
Pigeons.
Are you sad? Some pigeons. We are very, very excited about the butterflies cookies.
Yes. Let's have a look if they have it. Oh yes, they do.
They have so many options here.
Half chocolate.
Let's check more. So many options.
Yes.
Yes. I like it here.
Oh yes.
You go to the app, you press pay, and there's gonna be QR
codes.
So you can choose the method of payment. For me, it's a balance.
Okay.
你好。How you navigate in China?
Yes.
这个
一个.
Very easy.
Yes. And then the price gonna show how much you have paid.
Yes.
谢谢. So right now we are right in front of the ICBC bank, just in case you would like to withdraw from the ATM by international bank cards. So I have my Thai bank card from the ICBC bank, but it's in Thailand. So I'm gonna use it for the ICBC in China.
This is ATM.
Yes, ATM. So basically what you need to do is that you change the language to English and then you just insert your cards. It's very protective for the passwords over here, right?
Choose the appropriate amount.
Yes,
insert your password.
For example, like 100, something like this, and then you click confirm, and the money gonna be out, something like this. Yeah, that's it. It's very easy, right?
And don't forget to take your card.
Yes.
Little helper. More street food.
Yes.
You can dress up and take pictures.
Shanghainese style.
来，往上海拍照来。哦，在上海。
And they use props like an old car. And you can get a picture frame right here on the spot. Seafood. They're gonna grill it for you. So you just pick whatever you want.
Yeah, and the price is over there.
You check the price, and the owner gonna fry it for you. Don't forget to mention how spicy you want it.
Yeah. And then we input the price. Like this one is 55, and then yeah.
So easy. So you have to scan the code of the shop owner, you insert the price, and you show to the owner.
Yeah.
Some seasoning.
Oh, very big.
I'm gonna use my hand if I can. I cannot.
You cannot really have to like hold
Okay.
this one.
Very local style. So chewy. Even though we asked not to make it spicy, it was still a bit tingling on your tongue. So you should be insisting on the level of spiciness. Ooh, perfect.
Perfect.
完美. Okay, waiting for you. Let's do hambe.
Oh no, different size.
Even for me, it tastes like home.
Do you have something similar?
Yes, we do. So nice. But I know it's a specialty for Shanghai. Shanghai butterfly cookie.
The song is Shanghai during the night. Yeah, Shanghai.
Listening to the Chinese song, eating Chinese. Shanghai.
小吃看一下，面馄饨、生煎小龙啊，炒菜、炒面、炒饭啊，排骨、年糕粉。
East Nanjing Road is pedestrian, but somewhere you can see the crossing, so pay attention to the light. Yeah. Be careful. But cars don't go on a high speed here because there's a lot of people crossing the roads.
Hot pot.
Oh, hot pot. Have you guys heard about hot pot? Before coming to Asia, I never imagined, I never experienced what hot pot is. Basically, it's a boiling pot with a soup in it, and you can add any ingredients you like. You boil it for a few seconds or a few minutes, and you eat it on the spot.
Yes.
Very
With some
nice.
kind of sauce also.
Yes, and they have very different styles of hot pot. So the most famous one in China is Chongqing hot pot because it's very, very spicy. Today we are going to try one of the branches of famous franchise here in Shanghai and in China. Pigeon is asking about the student discount. Interesting thing about hot pot in China is you creating your own sauce. So many options. I will go with sesame oil, garlic, maybe some chili pepper, and some cilantro. The final touching point is peanut sauce. Your personal sauce is ready. I will go with another classic one. Aged black vinegar. Some chili sauce. Ooh, spicy. Be careful with that. Some fresh chili.
Chili.
That's little more sesame oil again. Pickle mustard.
Pickle. Oh, you're a big fan of pickles.
Yes, pickles. And again, chive. Oh, it's chive. It's not spring onion and coriander, cilantro.
Enrich the taste.
Let's wait for everything. Stomach skin. Have you ever tried stomach skin? Never in my life I imagined I would be enjoying it.
Oh, it comes with rose.
Yeah, this little flower. I cannot call it nice, but looks definitely
interesting. Yeah.
It says you have to boil it for 8 seconds, or you have to dip it 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Is it soft?
It's very chewy.
Very chewy.
It's really hard to describe. It's like vegetables. It's meat taste. We are very excited for the noodles.
For the noodles.
Wow.
Very good performance.
Very impressive.
Yeah, very good performance. Like his technique is like superb.
You can tell he was practicing for a few years. So happy. Now we're ready for the second part of our journey today. And he's so energized right now.
Oh, discounts.
And the discount
Discount
works.
is like a lot. From to 402.
From 402
to like
119. 120 is discount.
Discount, yes, a lot.
I feel so energized after such a great meal. You guys should try it out.
Yeah.
And the student discount, I think it's 30%.
Yes, a lot.
30%. Yes, this is great.
So where are we going now?
We are going to check out one of the hot places in Shanghai for taking pictures. Who doesn't love good pictures, pretty pictures and good photo spots? Most importantly, you can get to that place for absolutely free.
Let me check the way. Like
Yes.
how to go there from Nanjing Road.
So before coming to China, you should find the suitable app for you. The one you feel is gonna be the most useful one. Another way is Maps.me, which offers offline maps. You can download it in advance if you don't have any service. So using Maps.me saved me so many times before when I was traveling, and it offers separation of places based on categories. So if you're looking for food, for coffee shops, for museums, it's gonna mark it on a map, and I think you have different language settings, which is very convenient. So beautiful. The specialty of this place, why people love it, because you can not only take picture with the beautiful architecture of the place, but also you can have in your picture the Pearl Tower and the bun.
Yeah.
Like everything in one picture. So amazing. Because usually for all other places you have to pay, but here it's free. Yeah, entrance is free. It looks so fancy.
Yeah.
It looks so nice. You wouldn't imagine it was empty and abandoned in some place.
We are on the first floor now, and we are going to the second floor.
It's a great place for brunch, for a date with your friends. So you can see a lot of influencers are coming here. just for taking pictures professionally.
Oh, that's the Oriental Pole.
And that we're looking for. The whole view. You can spot the band. I just love it. I think I will revisit the place again.
Yeah.
I will prepare some outfits, makeup, and I'm gonna be here. This is amazing. How do I look?
Maybe we take a selfie?
Yes. Thank you. What is your favorite part about Shanghai?
My favorite part of Shanghai is the Bund area.
Why?
I think every time like my Thai friends come from Thailand, I bring them to there. Because they like photos, Thai people love taking photos, and then they can post it on Instagram or Facebook.
Nice. I can tell. I love taking pictures myself.
We love.
Yes, that's why we discover all the hottest spots for taking pictures. The spirit, the combination of fast-moving life and slowing pace at the same time.
Yes.
I don't know, it's very hard to explain. You should be here to feel it. Oh, it's getting so windy.
Yeah, a bit windy now.
Do you know why?
Because
they're going to the bus! So much excitement. Oh my god. I think like we're so energized, like a lot of happiness. Look at me. How happy I am.
She's so happy after the meal.
Look how many people around. We're getting closer. Wow. So many people. Look how many people on that side. Oh my god. But not so crowded actually. Sometimes it's getting very, very crowded. And that's why we came here. Observation desk. Pearl Tower, Shanghai Pearl Tower. Like everybody knows it. People who haven't been to Shanghai, they still would recognize the place. So beautiful.
Yeah.
Let's get closer to the river. Huangpu River. You see, all people come here to take pictures.
Let's have a selfie.
So windy.
So you have to adjust your hair a little bit?
Yes.
Okay.
One.
Okay. Maybe
nice.
this one.
Yes. From all the sides.
Yeah, all the sides with the bun.
The scenery is just picturesque.
Yeah. And during the night, you could get a different feeling of the bund because many buildings gonna open and turn on the lights.
Neon lights too on the other side.
And the other side, it's very lively.
And the Pearl Tower, it has a light show. And you can see people come here for getting other people's reactions. They're dressing up in the traditional clothes. You reach the ICBC building and you just go downstairs from here. That's another way of taking the boat. Yeah, is it this one?
No, I think that one.
Okay, don't be tricked. It's not this one. You should go further. Welcome to Shanghai Ferry. Alipay, WeChat Pay, and app for getting the tickets. Union Pay. Look how many people are here.
I think people are running to the second floor because it will give you the best view.
I know why people were running to get in here. To get all the spots by the edges of the boat so they can see the water and the river and the best view. But Pigeon and I, we're both pretty tall, so we are fine by standing just in the middle.
It's very easy for us.
But if you wanna observe from the first hands, just it's another tip for you. Just run, so you can
be the first.
Yeah, be the first, so you can get the best spot. But it actually makes a lot of sense because the price for ferry is only 2 yuan too, and if you take the tour, if you're gonna take the bridge, yeah, I think you're gonna spend much more on electricity recharge or like on the gas. So,
and you can also enjoy the view.
And now you can see the other side of the Ban, where we departed. It's so beautiful. And you can spot the Pearl Tower hiding between the skyscrapers. Oh my god, guys, this is so big. This is just tremendous construction. The camera doesn't show how great the building is. It looks enormous. Bus is prepared to take tourists all places around. Yeah, and over there's an organized group of tourists.
Yes, we are at the Oriental Tower.
TV Tower of Shanghai.
Yeah.
Have you been inside before?
Never. This is my first time.
Same for me. I'm very, very nervous because, truth to be told, I'm afraid of heights. I have a little acrophobia, so my palms are getting sweaty even before getting there. Tickets area right here. You can get it in the registration office, or you can get it by scanning QR. Guys, you can see the prices are here. They have different floors, and based on which area you want to visit, the price is going to be different. So first, click here, and you have to scan. Scanning, signing in,
and then you have to follow first using your WeChat. And then, like this one, buying online. I think there are different places. Different places you would like to go, and the price gonna be like different
based on the location.
Yes.
For people who don't have access to the WeChat, here, yeah, we just can get it at the counter with a real person who can advise you which area to visit. Guidebook. We are going at 258 meters high to Transparent Observatory. They're showing how many people visited the tower today. So it's more than 5,000 people, 5,000. And the tower is open until 9.
Yes.
9. So I think it's gonna make 10,000 per day.
Probably.
The territory surrounding the tower is tremendous. Wow. They have coffee shop. Ooh. Look at the tower itself.
It's enormous.
It's so shiny. I love how it looks like in the sunlight. It's like a real pearl. Kids, yeah.
Yeah, you can look at the kids. Sliders.
Oh yeah.
So cute.
That's how it looks inside right after crossing the gates. Ooh, there's line. Everybody's waiting to get in. In the high-speed elevators, usually your ears get blocked, like in the airplane.
祝您观光愉快，谢谢。Good afternoon, distinguished guests. Welcome to the Oriental Tower, which is a symbolic building of Shanghai.
263 meters high.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. This is amazing.
I think that one is Huangpu River, right?
This is Huangpu River. It's the one we were crossing before on the ferry. The view is breathtaking.
Yes.
and you can see the bun from here. I know there's a glass floor somewhere, so probably it's gonna be a bit of scary, but like a bit of nerve tickling. But for now, I'm just amazed how beautiful it is. Like you can see Shanghai like on your hand. It's amazing. So there's a bit of the mist right now around the city.
How is it?
Amazing. You can see everything. This is so different.
Yeah.
Like you stand right in front of the buildings, they look so big. But here, it's just like a Barbie house.
Barbie house. Everything is in a little like scale.
Yeah, little scale. Oh my god. Ooh, and it's pointing all the directions. Fujian, Fuzhou, Hong Kong, Macau. I really like it here, but let's challenge ourselves a bit and go to the observatory with a transparent floor.
Yes, are you ready for that?
No.
Oh wow.
Oh my god.
You have to go.
Oh my god. Oh my god. It's open air.
Yes, and you can have a look down there.
Wow.
You need to grab something?
She's inviting me to step on the glass, and she's saying it's gonna be fun. I don't think I can. Oh my god, look, even kids doing it.
The kids is also fine.
You wanna try?
Yeah, we can step in together.
No, thank you. He's doing it. Oh yes.
I cannot look down.
I cannot. I'm just standing right here on the solid ground, and I'm already being a bit scared. And look at the wind, and I'm so afraid of dropping my camera, but there's no reason actually, because.
Will you hold my hand? Oh, she advised you to look at like the opposite side and then like walk back.
No. Look at the kid. She's so brave. The maximum I can do I did it. Just stepping a bit.
A little bit?
Yeah, a bit more. Okay. Wow. Sunset. The whole city is preparing for the night.
Just to experience.
Definitely. It's must visit spot in Shanghai. One day, half a day trip around Shanghai. We visited most iconic places, which include Pearl Tower, where we're now, the Bund, and Nanjing Road.
Yes, and also taking the ferry.
And yes, we took the ferry, and we had such a great meal. And there's so many places in Shanghai to discover.
Feel free to follow us,
and we will show you more.
Bye-bye.
东盟分别与中国、韩国和日本。美国联邦政府
关门的危机。炒作俄乌冲突将是笼罩此次峰会的阴影。敦促其他国家要避免火上浇油。
我在这个半个地球以外的华盛顿给找到了。
他们希望让自己的生活变得更加美好。
你好吗？
This was the first group of students I took to China.
My journey is deep into China.
Not too many people get this view.
Very inspiring to look at.
Yes, this one's very good.
Mr. Christopher Nolan.
It's very exciting to be back in Shanghai.
I'm at NYU Shanghai. Give you an exclusive tour inside.
让更多的外国人更加理解了上海话的未来。
对接“一带一路”倡议，
大家可以看一下，我们这儿有2个小脚架，是中国制造，
搭载着天河和金仓的长征5号 B 遥2运载火箭，从这里点火起航。 First villages in the city to be renovated as got to be 的语言标志。
Welcome to the premiere.